I'm cautiously optimistic about this news. So, obviously, I think that it could go either way, depending on what Microsoft uses this for. Microsoft hasn't actually been known to be friendly to developers and things like that, So, again, I really do feel like this is something that could be very, very interesting, to say the least. But again, it might not work out well. It could work out incredibly well. I think it depends on what the intentions are, and Microsoft often has like weird intentions for things. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to get into this though because I feel like it's going to be a very interesting topic, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a comment on it. So let's get started. I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. I do daily gaming content, so at the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to, one of those things that people kind of want to kind of talk about. So I try to be fun yet informative, and that's just one of the things that realistically kind of happens. So if you guys could like, share, subscribe, that would be awesome. Again, appreciate it. So again, this was something that came out and I thought was super interesting. Microsoft says it could use AI to revive classic Xbox games. Now, this has me thinking of a couple different things. Like, this could be, help with some backwards compatibility, but what if it, circumvents paying people or getting licenses or, doing those type of things? I guess so. That's the part where we'll have to take the wait and see. But they're looking to utilize this just announced generative AI model for the preservation of classic video games. Microsoft's gaming division announced Muse, a generative AI model that says it can generate game visuals, controller actions, or both. The company's main demonstration of Muse showed how it could generate video game visuals using training data from Ninja Theory's 2020 game Bleeding Edge. Well, if you're going to pick a game to, take something from or add to, I guess it might as well be one that completely flopped, right? However, it also discussed how Muse could help preserve classic games in the future. Quote, "Today's countless classic games tied to aging hardware are no longer playable by most people. Thanks to this breakthrough, we are exploring the potential for Muse to take older back catalogs from our studios and optimize them for any device. We believe this could radically change how we preserve and experience classic games in the future and make them accessible to more players. To imagine that beloved games lost to time and hardware advancements could one day be played on any screen with Xbox is an exciting possibility for us." So, needless to say, when you see that and they're talking about any screen, blah, 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 makes you maybe wonder if they're trying to work out a way to potentially make it so that they could transfer or allow people to play games that were on Xbox or Xbox exclusive on like PlayStation and things like that, which could be helpful if they're looking to actually make sure that, gamers have their libraries with them or whatever. They could be working out some kind of thing. There's been rumors that maybe that's kind of what's happening, or whatever the case may be, is they want people to be able to take their friends list and take their games with them when they go to PlayStation or Nintendo or both, or whatever the case may be, should Microsoft stop supporting the hardware or whatever. So we don't know if that's going to be the case, but anything can happen. That'll be kind of interesting to see, long run, like I said, it all really kind of comes down to how we kind of view these things. Anything can happen. In the video published, which I'm going to link this in the description, Microsoft's gaming boss Phil Spencer expressed optimism for the future benefit of preservation. Quote, "You can imagine a world where from gameplay data and video, a model could learn games and really make them portable to any platform to run. I think that's really exciting. We've talked about game preservation as an activity for us, and these models with their ability to learn completely how a game plays without the necessity of the original engine running on the original hardware, I think opens up a ton of opportunity." According to a leaked company memo, Xbox established a new team last year dedicated to game preservation and backwards compatibility for its future hardware. Xbox President Sarah T-Mobile Bond said, quote, "We have formed a new team dedicated to game preservation, important to all of us at Xbox and the industry itself. We are building on our strong history of delivering backwards compatibility to our players, and we remain committed to bringing forward the amazing library of Xbox games for future generations of players to enjoy." So, again, we'll see how this all kind of works out. I really just think that it's one of those things that sounds kind of interesting, but AI just doesn't seem like it cuts it a lot of the time. I mean, I think it could be a very kind of strategic thing, interesting thing. Honestly, it could be a weird situation. I don't want to see like more layoffs. I don't want to see more of these types of things happening, like the negative things. I think that's probably the thing that I kind of want to stress the most is, we've had so much negative happen in gaming lately, and to be able to see Xbox and things like that is one of those things. So again, I look at this and I look at it kind of in a weird situation. How people might look at it. I like Xbox, I like classic gaming, but it's like I would never want some kind of half-assed backwards compatibility or something along those lines, and that's probably the thing that I kind of would push the most is just that realistically, we all kind of have this situation where we kind of want different things, and I know, like, to me, I think backwards compatibility is a little bit of a thing that maybe not everybody uses or everybody cares about, but I still think that it could be good if we can get some of these kind of things going in a proper way. I think it would add more value. But how do you make sure that it's all gonna run the correct way and things like that? I think that's probably the big question there. It's like, how do you make sure that it works, or that there's not bugs, or whatever the case may be. I think that's something that would need to be explored further and things like that. I mean, obviously, they probably got some kind of thing up their sleeves, trying to kind of showcase exactly what is going to happen in the future, or whatever. But again, as long as like the developers are making their making their kind of money off these things and the licenses and all that kind of stuff, I think that we'll need to see how these kind of things work, and that's, I think, the biggest question right now. So is it going to be something that continues to work out on things? Is it going to be something that helps and that actually brings the legit games? If it's not, then it seems like it might be even worse than emulation at this particular point. So we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in the future. I know Microsoft probably has a lot of plans and things like that in terms of what they want to do in the future. Is that going to be stuff that works out well for everybody else? Who knows? I think at the very least this is kind of an intriguing situation, but is it a situation that realistically kind of makes it so that none of us have any real idea of what it's going to be used for, or what it's going to be, how that's going to kind of work or whatever for the future of Xbox. I just hope that we can get some very, interesting stuff, in the future. So, again, I'm all for saving some games and making sure that we have, plenty of stuff to kind of do or whatever. But, again, it's going to be interesting to see if this works out or not. Do I ever trust, what Phil Spencer is doing or what Microsoft is doing as a company? Of course not. And neither should you. Just being honest, neither should you. So, at the end of the day, we'll see how this kind of works out. I'm curious. I'm sure you're curious. What would you guys like to see brought back in terms of, what they want to do? What games would you like to see? Just in general, what kind of things would you like to see happen here? So, again, I'm sure we all have different kind of ideas, different thought processes and things like that. We'll see what happens. Again, anything can happen, but be foolish to kind of trust Microsoft fully at this particular juncture. So we'll see what happens. Rack them up, fact them up, crap gamer them up. I'll catch you guys here next time. Thanks so much for watching. Crap Gamer